Hello and welcome to Women in Business Wednesdays. I have our special guest of the week, Vernique Johnson. Welcome, Vernique.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Kylie.
Thank you for jumping on. So this is a pleasure because I don't get to interview too many ladies out of our own group. So this is definitely very special. Vernique is a member of FFL Fury Hierarchy and FFL High Voltage. So we're going to talk to you today about your story and your journey before FFL and a little bit during FFL.
Okay.
So my first question, Vernique, is how long have you been here?
So I want to say it's going on 8 months.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so 8 months was you found out you how did you find out about FFL? Let's start with that.
Because Corinne and I are friends on Facebook, and
Okay.
we are friends on Facebook, and I knew her prior to FFL, and I saw her kept on posting and posting and posting, and by me, taking a step back from the insurance industry. I knew I wanted to stay in it, but like be on the sidelines a little bit.
Okay.
I wanted somewhere to put my license where I could use it. So I was like, you know what, let me. It seemed like she's doing pretty good. Let me go ahead and find out what this is about.
Okay. And then let's take out my teeth. Sorry, y'all. Um
You good?
that was back. So I remember you the first time that I saw you was at the Maryland Fall Sales Conference, right?
That's correct.
And so that gave you a bigger picture of Family First Life, I'm sure, right? But you didn't get started right away.
I didn't.
Why was that?
Why was that? All right. Because to be truthfully told, I was kind of tired. So I'm being in the insurance industry for so long, and by doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results by listening to different things and following, who my leadership was. And it's like, I feel overworked and underpaid. So I had to take a
Hmm.
step back. And I just kind of had the fear in my mind, like, if I get back in, I'm going to be repeating the same thing. I didn't want to feel like that again. So I found when I broke free, that was the first time, honestly, in my life, I felt happy. I felt free. I could just be me.
Wow,
And
you said when you broke free. Like we're
yes,
talking about life insurance, right?
I know, but I'm just saying, just from just my experience.
No, I got you, but I just want to
Hmm.
we're talking because you were with another insurance company, right?
Yes,
From 2013 to 2020. So
yes,
for about 7 years, when you left for a little bit and then went back,
yes.
right?
I
So
did.
why? Okay, so why did you leave it and why did you come back? Why did you go back to the other company?
While I left, I wanted something different because I knew my work ethic. So by me feeling overworked and underpaid, I kind of felt like it could be somewhere else, and
Okay,
I can reap the benefits from the work that I'm putting in. And I came back because I'm so loyal, like
okay.
so loyal, and I knew that it was an unfinished mission for a particular individual to go RVP. So I wanted to help that individual to become RVP, and I completed my job.
Okay, now is that person still there?
I'm not sure.
Have
That's
you
a
tried
great.
to recruit
That's
them
a
for?
great question.
You need to read that as soon as we're done. You need to hang up and call them. Okay, like seriously, because the thing is, like most people, and I believe that if people understood how good the opportunity was with Family First Life, more people would definitely come apart, especially agents that are already licensed, right? The problem with the company that you're talking about, the buy term invested difference, a lot of them have been there for years, and it's difficult for them to hear something else, right? So because I think for you, Vernique, the reason that you were able to even hear about Family First Life is because you did take some time away. You were able to see something different, even though you went back, right? So you understood that there was more out there than what you were being told from your original practice company,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And by me breaking free, and seeing what else was out there, I want to say explore my options. Okay.
Got you,
So
got
by
you.
me exploring my options, I saw that, it wasn't the end all.
Oh, right.
It was more to buy term, invest the difference. What about the people that's in the retirement? What about the people that has different health conditions that they can't get covered? There's so much more products out there that can be offered that can be more beneficial to people and their families that can, help whatever their situation is. And by me, exploring that option and being a part of a company for a year, I learned a lot and experienced a lot. So it opened my eyes to see like it's not only buy term and invest the difference.
I got a question. What was your commission at that other company?
My commission was 70%.
At the company that you left the first company from, or which one? Which was that? Where did you have a 70% commission?
I had 70% commission of when I left.
The first practice company.
Oh, the first practice company that I was at. What's the division? 60.
So you were at 60, and then you went and got a 10% bump. So you probably thought you was doing something.
I did. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I
and
did.
Then when you went back to the term company, did they bring you back in at 25%?
I had to do everything all over again, but I skipped being division. I skipped all of those things. I mean, I skipped the 50%, skipped the 25% because I did what I had to do during coming back in during training.
Okay, got you. But so then you ended up being at the 70% at that company.
Correct.
And then that seemed like that was a pretty good compared to starting at a 25%, right? And then you come to FFL, and now let's say you didn't get started right away, but you come to FFL and you're like, hold up, like this is very different. Right. So what was the biggest differences from outside of the commission? What were the biggest differences in Family First Life versus those other companies that you work for?
No pressure.
Okay.
I feel like it's at ease. Of course, nothing is given easy. You have to work for whatever you get. However, it's no pressure because I don't have to, hound family and friends. I don't have to hound people that may not even be interested. So it's a breath of fresh air that we get to really talk to people. We don't have to convince people. These are people that are, actively looking for our services. And so all we have to do is to do our part, call them and go see them and then do what needs to be done. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah. Because didn't you find, what was it, $80 annuity over the phone earlier today?
Yes, I did.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
And you're 7 years of between those other two companies. How often did that happen? Ever?
No. That's why I had to make that face like, no. Not at all.
Okay, and then I wanted to, and I'm kind of telling your story, but did you started doing hair at some point, right? So talk about that part.
So I want to say the pandemic brought out a lot, and so many people. I feel like so many businesses were built, and I reached a point where, as though I said mentally, I was done with insurance, and then finding FFL, gave me hope, a breath of fresh air, and I don't feel that way no more. So during that time frame, I reached a point where I was not going to be in insurance anymore, and always had a passion for doing hair, and I was at a low point, and then my other half said to me, "You know what, Vernique? If you have a gift or a talent, you should never be broke." And that kind of clicked to me like, hold on, wait a minute. What? Yeah. And a lot of people don't know this, but I'm an introvert. I stay to myself. I don't like talking to people. I just do it when I have to. Okay. I definitely don't know that. But I don't like social media. I just like to be quiet, reserved. And so that took a lot of growth out of me to get out of my comfort zone. And I'm like, okay, where do I start? I don't know anybody. Like at all. Like I just stayed to myself under a little rock, a little bubble. So she was like, just post your work. And then by me posting my work, I didn't know it was going to blow up like that. I have people that come to me from Texas, New York, a big clientele in Baltimore. People come from all over, and Pennsylvania. And that, that brought something out of me. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so quiet, I'm reserved. But because I was determined, and just because I'm this way doesn't mean that I have to stay that way.
Good.
Because
I love
being
that.
quiet and being in my comfort zone is not going to give me the results that I want. So you have to work for it. So I definitely didn't know and believe that what I have today, as far as my hair business, I would have that. And I know it's going to be even greater, with FFL as well, because of course the payout is definitely more. But it's about getting out of the comfort zone, being uncomfortable.
And then, so you were like, okay, I'm gonna do hair, because when you first, so just want to give everybody a timeline. So you found out about FFL October, November, got signed up. Really, you did some stuff here and there, and then you also went to the convention, right? The company convention in February in Orlando, and then recently, I would say in the last month and a half, maybe, right? You made a decision, a big decision, and what was that decision?
My decision was, I'm just gonna clear out my schedule. I know it's small little baby steps, but literally I was running my hair business from Sunday to Saturday, like nonstop, even to fit everybody in. I would start early as 4 o'clock in the morning and go straight through. Sometimes I do all 36 hours straight, no rest, and then get back up and then do it all over again.
Okay.
So I just had to make a difference. I couldn't do that. Like, it's wearing on the body. So you know what? I'm gonna start being on the schedule. So I put a schedule in place, and then start working that schedule and just start doing little by little. But,
and so now, as of today, like, you're all in.
All in.
Right? Full time FFL, getting ready to pay for recruiting leads because you want to be able to build an agency under you, right? Focus on your logo. So that's a big deal, because in those 7 years that you were at that other company, like, first of all, did you make the kind of money that you're making here at all?
No. No, not at all. And it's kind of embarrassing to say, but it's a part of the story, because that's not where I am no more. I can honestly say my what is it? The 1099 was never more than 20,000
for the year.
For the year.
Wait a minute. So I'm not surprised. But were you full time there? Like, did you have
I did not have a job.
So how were you surviving?
Barely. Nobody didn't know that. It was fake surviving. That's what that's called. Nobody didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's the mark, Vernique, of a fighter, is nobody knows what you're going through besides you. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we need those things so that, because I always told myself when I was going through my stuff at that same company, like, everything I'm going through is not for me. It's so that I can help somebody else. And that's that. I mean, and I thought it would be so that I could tell my story there, but that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? It was so that I could take that and come here and tell the story on a bigger stage and on a bigger platform, right? Because if I didn't have any trials or tribulations, I couldn't say, okay, listen, it's gonna be okay. This is what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. And I'm not talking about you, just in general. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women do come to me and confide in me. Okay, we can cry for a minute, but we need to wipe off those tears and we need to get moving, right? Because at the end of the day, like, one of the things that I've learned, and money's not everything, but money gives you options.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you have money in your bank, when, you know what I'm saying, and then also not just having money in the bank, but the good thing about FFL is, if you just keep, even if you have a day where you don't close anything, even if you have 2 days where you don't close anything, without a shadow of a doubt, that third day that you are in the field of that week, you're going to close the business.
Absolutely.
Right? And so we didn't have that same level of faith at the other company, because it was all based on you giving me referrals of people that may or may not be interested in insurance, and hopefully they will buy something. And because they weren't looking for it, they weren't willing to pay for, because people pay for what they see value in. Right? And so most of the time, very small policies. And then the commission was also low, and so we really weren't, like you said, 20,000 in a year, like, and you got a daughter, right?
I'm
So
happy she was little, like little, and
yeah,
realize all different things now. And it's so now that she's 10, so it's like, okay, mommy, can I have this? Mommy, can I have that? Can I go here? Can I go there? I want this. So it wasn't more of that when she was little. Now that she's older and she's more exposed, so
yeah,
it's like, and I'm happy that I have FFL because I can, I can give her more, and also like I'm planning an engagement party. I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for FFL. I'm not thinking like, oh my God, I don't think I can afford this. Oh my God, I don't think I can afford that. I
yeah.
literally went to the jewelry store and said, okay, this is what I'm going to get.
I love that.
And I
And
know
we
I
talk,
can have faith because I know I'm not sitting here like twiddling my fingers, doing
yeah,
nothing. I know if I put the work in, the money is going to come.
yes.
So it's no shadow of a doubt that, the goal is going to be met.
I love it. Okay, so you're building an agency as we talked about, right?
Mhm.
So if somebody wants to come and work with you, Vernique, how do they get in touch with you? Can
Your
you hear
phone
me?
blanked out.
Oh, it did. Oh gosh, I
Yeah, it
said
blanked
you're.
out.
I said you're building an agency, right?
Mhm.
And if somebody wants to come and work with you specifically, how can they get in touch with you?
So they can get in contact with me, through my, my direct number, which is 443-635-0402. Also, I'm on Facebook. My name spelled as it is right there. My last name is Johnson, Johnsson. Also, my Instagram is Honor Thy Crown.
Honor thy crown.
Honor Thy Crown.
I love that. Any parting words for anybody who's thinking about getting into the insurance business? Like, what would you tell? What would you tell somebody who is considering getting into insurance and haven't sold insurance before?
I would say it's nothing to be scared about. Fears is what's hold us back. Everything that you want in life is literally on the other side of change. You never
Mm,
know what's going to happen until you do it. So just get out of the comfort zone and just experience what life has to offer, because wherever you are in life or wherever you're located, it's more than wherever you're located. It's a whole, I
world.
would say, world, to explore. It's so much more. And guess what? And just like you said, Kylie, money is not everything, but money definitely gives you options. It's going to get you out of your zip code. It's going to get you out of your situation, out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
then if you do have kids, you know what I'm saying, being able to, tell your daughter yes, as opposed to and or making decision not because you don't have it, but if you're saying no, it's because you don't deserve to have that, right? Because you did something versus you're saying no because financially you just can't do for her what you want to do. So it's two different, you know what I'm saying, two different feelings as a mom is to be able to say, you know what I'm saying, like whatever she asks for, you can give it to her as long as she, you know what I'm saying, she's acting appropriate to be able to get
right.
those
That
things.
was a key point. Right.
So everybody heard it from Vernique Johnson. If you are looking to join her team, by all means, make sure you reach out to her on Instagram, call her, social media, Facebook. It's been a pleasure, Vernique. Thank you so much for joining Women in Business Wednesdays. I
And thank you
can't
for
wait to see where you
having me.
go from here, girl. I can't wait to see your growth. And we are lucky, Corinne and myself are so lucky that you are a part of our team. So
And
thank
thank you for having me. I definitely do appreciate it. Don't take none of the time for granted, because you
thank
could mentor someone else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, because it means a lot that people appreciate what we do. You know what I'm saying? Because we do it from our heart, and a lot of times people don't realize that we don't have to do it. We do it because we
Right.
want
And
to,
I don't
and
take
we
it for
want people to
granted.
grow. Yeah. So thanks, Vernique.
Thank you.